What's up, everyone? Today we're going to be breaking down how to throw the cross in the right-handed stance and as a southpaw. Also, we're going to work on how to step and then throw the cross. So without any more ado, let's hop into the video. All right, guys, so make sure we're going to work on throwing the right hand. So make sure you're in your stance when you're in the ladder. So what's going to happen is, the first thing before we throw the punches, you have to make sure, one, you're in your proper stance. Two is, I gotta make sure I pivot my foot, my hip, and my shoulders to point forward, okay? So from right here, I'll turn my body, both shoulders pointing forward. I'll turn. Now, as I do that pivot, I'm gonna come out and twist with these two knuckles. Now, when I pivot back, see, I bring my whole body back. So I'll pivot and throw, pivot back in position, or otherwise I call it the reload. I'll punch and reload back into position. Now, when we step in, when we do it, it's what we did in the very beginning when I first taught you your stance and how to step in your stance. All you're gonna do is just step left, right, but you make sure when this right foot lands, then I'll throw my right hand and come back. A lot of people make the mistake is they'll step, throw, then bring the hand back. Wide stance, off balance, I can't generate proper power from that. Another mistake I'll see is that they'll hear and as they're punching instead. It's not wrong, eventually you can do it, but not right now. There's a couple steps that you need to learn before you can step and throw that right hand. So take your time, baby steps right here, step, step. Once that foot lands, see I throw it, step, lands, throw, come right back, okay? And it's the same thing going backwards. I'm gonna take a step, right leg, but this time when this left leg lands, immediately I'll throw that right hand. Step, step, throw that right hand, come back. Another key thing, guys, before I forget, is when you throw that right hand, don't just, see I pivot, I did pivot, but see I didn't put my body into the shot. Remember, this is your knockout punch. You want to knock someone out with this right hand. So you put your whole body, see how I turn into that shot? Come back, turn into the shot. I don't just turn my body like that. I put my whole weight behind the punch, okay? So once again, going backwards, take a step, when this left foot lands, throw that right hand. Don't get in the habit of stepping, throwing, see, wide stance going backwards. Okay? Or stepping and then throwing. As you're trying to punch, you step at the same time. Lose your balance, don't generate the same power. So remember, make sure to concentrate. Step, step. Once you plant, then I throw. All right, guys, now we're gonna work side to side. So make sure you're in proper stance. Now, when we throw that right hand, nothing really changes up. But when I go to my left, I'm gonna step. When I bring this right foot and it plants, then I shoot and turn and throw my right hand, come back. Huh? Step, step, throw right away. So when you hear me say plant, what that means is, see, once this foot is grounded here, once I got put my weight down, then I turn and generate the power I need into my shot. I'm not gonna be here and then see I'm not planted. My feet was in the air, I was off balance. So when you hear me say plant your feet, it's right here. My feet are planted. Good strong base, good foundation. Get to turn on my shots now. Okay? Now going to the right, it's the same thing. Take a step with the right. This time when the left foot lands and plants, I turn and throw that right hand over. Take a step, step, throw that right hand. Okay? Same thing. Make sure, don't try to throw it while you're in your foot's in the air. You're not planted. Wait till your foot is planted, then I'll turn and throw that right hand over, okay? So that's the key thing, guys. You gotta wait. When you're working on stepping and throw that right hand, is making sure your feet are planted, okay? And of course, as I explained in the other videos when we were jabbing, stepping, just make sure you're not crossing your feet. Everything applies, even if I'm not saying it, the same thing still applies. You don't wanna be here trying to throw your right hand. You're off balance. You're gonna get no power. Same thing if my feet are too close together, same concept, same thing applies, same rules apply. So make sure everything's spread out, step, good distance, turn where I can turn my whole body. And then that's how you got the right hand. All right, everyone. So now as a southpaw, we get in our stance. Now, our cross is different. Our cross is the left hand. So what's gonna happen is, like I explained earlier, for the right-handers, you're gonna have to pivot your foot, your hips, and your shoulders. You're gonna have to turn where both shoulders are squared up, facing here. Now, when I turn and do that pivot with my whole body, I come out and twist with it. Hit with these two knuckles, and then pivot back. So I come out, twist, come right back, okay? So practice that turning, getting that motion down a couple of times. Once you get it, then we can step. All you're gonna do is step with your left foot, or right foot, I'm sorry. Then step with your left. Once that foot lands, it's planted, then I turn my body and shoot that left hand, and then I pivot back. Otherwise, I call it the reload. You shoot your shot, then I reload back into position where I'm ready to shoot again. So I step with the right, then the left, pivot and throw. Now, remember guys, you see how I turn my whole body into that left hand? I'm not just gonna throw the left hand. See how I'm here? Yeah, I pivoted, but I didn't put my body behind it. I'm just here. I wanna make sure every time I pivot, I turn my body, putting all my weight behind that punch because it's my knockout punch, okay? So, step, step, my feet is planted, then I turn, put my whole weight at the same time into that shot. That's how I'm gonna get the full advantage, full power behind my cross, okay? So make sure you just turn your body, put it all into the shot. Another thing too to focus on is don't pivot one thing and then pivot the thing in second. So what I mean, for example, a lot of people when they throw that cross, they'll pivot their foot and then try to throw their body at the same time. The whole body has to move as one, has to. As my foot begins to pivot, you see how my body's starting to go? It has to move as one shoot. I can't punch and then turn my body. I'm losing power, I'm losing speed, I'm losing technique. Everything has to move as one. Here, same time, here. Now, when I go backwards, take a step with the left foot, bring the right foot back. Once that foot lands, then I'll turn and throw that left hand, come back. Take a step left, then right, land. Now, when you hear me say plant, guys, is when you take a step, you see how I'm planted? I'm grounded, I'm in my stance. This is why I say, so if you ever hear me say plant your feet, make sure you're here. Grounded in your stance, then turn. And that's what you want to do is when you're throwing the left hand, your cross, my southpaws, is you want to be grounded. You don't want to be punching with one foot in the air. You have no power, you're off balance, you're hurting yourself, you're not getting that full leverage. So you shouldn't be like this. See how I was stepping? Let the feet plant first, then I turn and throw into that left hand, putting my whole body into that shot. And that's how you make an effective left cross. Now we're going side to side, everyone. So make sure you're in your stance. My southpaw, we're gonna be stepping to the right. So you step with the right leg, left leg follows. Once that left foot lands, I'll turn and throw my left hand behind it. Okay? Step, step, turn and throw that left hand, come right back. Okay? So when you're doing this, like I explained when we were jabbing, learning how to jab and step, how to step in your stance, you don't want to get to a point where you step, I overstep, see? One, I can't get a good pivot. Two, I'm off balance. And three, I just feel awkward. It's just a very awkward position that has no benefit behind it. So make sure when you're doing this, shoulder point forward, shoulder point back. I'm taking small steps. Here, turning my punches over so I can put my hips, my core, my foot, put everything behind the shot. I don't want to be here. You could say you're putting your body, but really you're not putting your legs or your hips into the shot because you're just in an awkward position. And it's the same thing going, I don't want to take a big step, take a small step. See, my stance is wide. I can't generate the power and the leverage that I need because my stance is so wide. That's why it's good to keep a good, strong foundation, balance in your footwork so I can turn and put my whole weight behind it, okay? So just concentrate. Just take a step to the right, left, and I turn and throw my left hand. It's the same thing going to the left. I'm gonna take a step with my left foot. When the right foot lands, that's when I turn and throw my shot, my left hand, okay? I don't wanna be here where I take a step. See, my feet are touching again. That's still, I'm not getting, I can get power and leverage, but I'm not getting the full, I'm selling myself short. So I can probably generate maybe 50%, but why settle for 50 when I can be out here, generate 100% of my punching power? And then the other thing is, just make sure, once again, you're not in a wide stance. We're here. See, once we start beginning with our, working with our footwork, getting more advanced, having wide stances, not only does it take away from our power, it slows us down from when we're moving, being able to move fast. So that's another reason why you guys, in the future, you want to make sure you have a good foundation in your footwork, and also small steps, so it makes it easier to move faster, but to punch off that movement. So just these are some little tips I'm giving you guys for the future when we start doing more advanced things, when we start implementing everything together. So one last time, so when I step to my right, step with the right foot first. When the left foot lands, turn and throw that left hand, reload. When I go to my left, step with the left leg, then I step with the right. Once that right leg lands, turn and throw that left hand over. And that's how you throw your cross side to side. All right, guys, I hope everyone enjoyed that. That's me teaching the cross as a right-hander and a southpaw. And then tune in to next week, because you see how all of that I taught you, from your stance to your jab and your cross. You're gonna see how we're gonna mix it all together. So basically start, how do you throw your first combination, 1-2. So the jab cross, how you throw that going forward, how you throw it going backwards, and how you throw it side to side. So stay tuned for next week's video, because that's how I'll break everything down. But I hope you guys enjoy it. Make sure you always like, comment, subscribe, and share with your friends. And I'll see you guys next time. This is El Castigador. I'm checking out now.